Welcome to another Wanderlust class video. It's Kasia here, and today, as you can see, we're outside because our studio is still in progress, so we have to find alternative spaces to make our classes, but it's very nice outside today, as you can see, and it's a good coincidence because we're making something for outside today. However it sounds, you'll think, well, for outside, mixed media. But yes, we are going to make a mini prayer flag. Maybe you already heard about them, maybe you've already seen them. But they're something like a banner, a bunting. They are originally made to spread good will to the world. If you've never seen them, have a look in our PDF, and I put some pictures of prayer flags in there for you, so you can get inspired. But the one that we're gonna make today will be a bit different, not traditional type of prayer flag, not made out of fabric only, but we'll also use some paper, some watercolors. So it will be pretty adventurous, but still, I think, very nice. I will read you now a short quote from Wikipedia, because it's a very nice one and it explains very well, I think, what prayer flags are. Traditionally, prayer flags are used to promote peace, compassion, strength and wisdom. The flags do not carry prayers to gods, which is a common misconception. Rather, the Tibetans believe the prayers and mantras will be blown by the wind to spread the goodwill and compassion into all-pervading space. The prayers of a flag become a permanent part of the universe as the images fade from exposure to the elements. Just as life moves on and is replaced by new life, Tibetans renew their hopes for the world by continually mounting new flags alongside the old. This act symbolizes a welcoming of life's changes and an acknowledgement that all beings are part of a greater ongoing cycle. So, you know, it doesn't have to be very religious thing, these prayer flags. It's just about good, about beautiful feelings and about values that we want to share and spread. So in our PDF, I prepared for you a little list of words that might inspire you and that you might feel like you want to put in your prayer flag, on your prayer flag. Please have a look, print them out if you like, and put those that you like the most. I chose 3 for myself. The prayer flag that I'm going to make will be quite small. There are going to be maybe 6 pieces to it, but you know, the size, well, it's only imagination that is the limit. You can make a massive prayer flag or a long one, short one. It really is your choice. So, but for a short one, little one, I need 3 words, that's enough. I printed them out on a piece of paper from an old book, and these words are courage, freedom and serenity. While choosing your words, just look at the list, or, you know, just concentrate and find your own words, words that you want to spread, words that you feel like you would want the world to remember more, you know, you would want people to remember and think about them. So for me, courage and freedom are very important. Freedom, I think, is something that we all have to remember, and that we all sometimes forget, that we are all free to do our own choices and to make our life as we want it, without being influenced by other people and without really caring that much what world wants us to do. Courage also, for me, very important thing, because I think many moves in our life steps need a lot of courage, and this courage can bring us beautiful things. Sometimes we can make some mistakes, but I think it's better to try than not to try and regret that I never tried. And serenity, because first thing, it's just a beautiful word, and I think it's something we all need sometimes, especially when the world is so fast, when we're so busy. Just this balance, calmness, and a little bit of serenity. So that is why I chose these words to go on my little flag. But before I start working on a flag, oh, there's a little leaf, I would like to maybe do a little exercise with these words, just concentrate on the energy that comes from them and the meaning of them. What does it mean to me? And make very short, very quick journal spreads using some watercolors and these words. If there are some noises, dog noises, sorry, these are our dogs. We are in our garden now, so sorry for that, but they are pretty adventurous when the weather is nice. Okay, so I will start now. This I will leave for later. This will go on my prayer flag. For the exercise, I need to only know these words. I need some watercolor paints and some paintbrushes and some water. So watercolors and our journal. Watercolors I'm using are in half pans today. This set is from Daily Rowney. I'm pretty sure Jamie already showed you how it works and that it's actually a very nice tin with a big choice of colors with a little ring so you can hold it nicely. I like them very much, just as much as I like Primo watercolors in half pans, and actually all watercolors I ever tried. Only besides those that are probably poor quality, you know, like the cheapest ones that I used at school, but that's this period of my life is gone. Now I can have some nicer watercolors. So these Primo watercolors, and an amazing thing about them is that you are getting some really nicely matched colors in the tin. This set I think will let you mix colors in a very good way. These sets, they're almost, you know, ready for, depending on the type of work you're doing. So, and they also have very fancy names, the classics, decadent pies and tropicals. So when I'm using watercolors, I of course put a little bit of water on them before I start painting. And the thing is, I think very important to not be afraid of watercolors, because they are very easy medium to use. That's a dog. It's difficult because it's a big distraction, but that's okay. It's important thing is to not be afraid of using watercolors. What I was trying to tell you before Jack came and distracted me completely was that I know some people, maybe many of you even, are very afraid of using watercolors for some strange reason, but actually maybe I can understand this reason, because I wasn't so sure about them before as well. I took with Jamie a little online class about watercolors, but it was very much about traditional art, you know, landscapes and stuff like that, so I wasn't very excited, but at least I could notice that it's an easy medium to use. It isn't that difficult once you understand that you have to put some water on these pans, get a soft paintbrush, use a lot of water, clean water, change your water in a jar, then everything is really easy and you can create whatever you like, and just don't be afraid. It's not that bad. And there is a massive advantage for me of watercolors, the fact that they aren't messy at all. Because acrylic paints, if I would want to paint here, I would have to bring 3 baskets of acrylic paints, all these big tubes, squeeze them out, and they would dry quite quickly, you know, because it's a nice wind today and the sunshine sometimes. So that would be a lot more difficult. But like for traveling art journal or for what I'm doing now, watercolors are just perfect, because all you have to do is put a drip of water and paint, and if they dry, then you put another drip of water. So that's easy. And especially also for such quick exercises like this 3-hour journal spreads that I'm going to make now, they're super easy to use, and that's the biggest advantage for me of watercolors. And of course they look. Okay, so the first word, courage. You know, what I want to do on this exercise is I want to paint the word in the middle of my page. I'll have some Payne's Gray here. I'm using my rigger brush, Courage. Got my tea next to jar with water, so it's very dangerous to not dip paintbrush in tea. Okay, so I got the word in the middle, and now I'm thinking about colors that I see. You know, I'll just close my eyes and just think about courage, the word, what it means to me, and maybe colors, maybe just some shapes. I think I will be using this paintbrush now. It's oval one. They're all soft paint brushes, best to work with watercolors. This is actually Aquafine series from Dale Rowney, so they're made for watercolors. And I'm just gonna maybe get a little bit of this purple and a little bit of this white. Make it very light pink. The whole purpose of this exercise is just to think about words, you know, think about the meaning, because we want our prayer flags to have some meaning. It's not exactly, doesn't have to be the design or colors that you're going to use on your prayer flags. It's just to concentrate on these beautiful and very powerful words that you chose. So it's literally really plain only, and that's it. There is not much of a philosophy here, just to get you going to start somehow. This is the beauty of our journal. I think that we can use it without worrying about the final effect, because it's only a page. We can tear it out, or we can stick another one to it if we don't like it. We can make mistakes and feel that it doesn't really matter. Now change my paintbrush. Okay, so this is, you know, this is what I wanted to do. That's it. That's very fast, very quick. I'll move on to another word. And my other word, next word will be freedom. Yeah, it's freedom. I'll start it with a different color, like Prussian blue, I think that is. One E. I always make some stupid mistakes. Now you surely can't read. What does that mean? Doesn't matter. Sometimes just looking on your palette with paints is very helpful. And the idea about the color that a word brings you, this word brings you, comes very quickly to your head. For me, it's close to purple again. some of you might think that you can't mix watercolors, but of course you can, and it's very easy. Just try it. Same like acrylic paints, for example. It goes same way. And what I wanted to show you really with this exercise is that watercolors are so easy to use, like I already probably said a few times. For me, they're probably the most encouraging type of paint to do little spreads, you know, to do some little sketches or just to play with paints. When I have no plan what I want to do, I just feel like I just want to play, and that's it. You know, immediately, like I said, with acrylic paints, they are amazing, of course, and they have massive advantages. But with acrylic paints, you would have to squeeze them all out. Here, on one palette, you already have beautiful choice of colors, and really possibilities are endless. Okay, so as you can see, not much of a artwork here, but it's really only about relaxing your wrists, relaxing your head, clearing your mind a little bit, thinking about what you want to do, what this means, words mean to you, and yeah, clearing your mind. I think just have few moments, few deep breaths. Open your art journal and play with watercolors or any other medium actually that you have. Without judging yourself, without thinking about composition, about right color combinations, about, I don't know, beautiful shapes you want to make. Just do this, just relax and think about words rather than painting.
New and exciting for 2018 is that we're going to be using different themes every month. So some of the themes may be art gallery, sunrise, trees, people. There's 50 classes during the year. Everyone's released every Friday, and the structure is that we have my class on the first week of a 4-week period, then 2 guest teachers, and then Kasia on the 4th week of the class, and that carries on throughout the year.
From each one of us, you will be getting a full-length, really good quality video, edited, dynamic, and I think that you will be very excited to see also the list of our teachers. Wanderlust is for everyone. Whether you are a beginning artist or whether you're advanced, because there are so many different aspects to our class. Or maybe you are just looking for a different and fresh direction or a path in your life that can bring something exciting and dynamic, different energy. Maybe you want to express yourself and you're not sure how to do it. Well, then Wanderlust is definitely for you.
Now, Wanderlust is based on a community, and we've got some fresh new features for 2018 which will make it even better than ever. It's a great place not just to find the videos every Friday, but also where you can interact with the teachers, with all the students, with me and Kasia.
And then we also have a team of retailers who decided to join Wanderlust and give you a lovely, generous 10% discount for your shopping throughout the whole year in their shops. I definitely think that the word that sums the whole team up is variety, because this is what Wanderlust is all about. We want to show you different styles, different techniques, different approaches, because that's so exciting. We don't want to push you in one direction. We really want to show you how wide the world of art is, and that you can go in any direction you want. Okay, so now if we are after our relaxing exercise, we can move on to prayer flags, and I gathered here a little bit of supplies that I'm going to use. I know some people would call it junk or trash, but of course it isn't trash to me. It's very valuable. These are all those things that, you know, well, tidying the house or tidying my studio, I was putting aside, well, maybe I'll use it later. So now is the moment when I actually got a chance to do that. I'm sure many of you have same situation. So first thing, I got my words here. They're very important, they're crucial here. There is my old tired shoebox where I keep some papers. These are some pages from old books, but the most important that I keep in this box are papers that I already done something to. You know what I mean? Like, this is a piece from old little book about herbs, I guess. Yes, probably. And at some point I sprayed it with 2 colors of glimmer mist. I don't know if I did that on purpose or not, but I dried it and it looked nice, so I put it in this box. Got some pieces of like book. I don't know how you call it in English, I'm sorry, but you know what I mean. It's this part. I never throw them away. Even if I destroy the whole book, I always keep them, because I just like this quite stiff because of the glue aged material. I really like it. So some other papers. This is a paper, and I think there should be also a tea bag somewhere. Maybe it is somewhere. I'll try to find it. Yes, there it is. That's a tea bag, dried tea bag that I covered with ice resin, same that I did to this piece of paper. So as you can see, paper after ice resin turns a bit transparent, and it's quite stiff. You could break it, really, you see. So this is very exciting, actually. I love doing that. But I think this will be something really good for my prayer flags. And you must remember that you know, prayer flags that we're gonna do today, they will be layered and they will be different than traditional. And because they're layered, they need a lot of layers. You can't make them thin because then it won't look, you won't get the effect that we're trying to achieve. So be prepared that you need a lot of paper and a lot of treasures, but remember, like you can see, they don't have to be treasures bought from the shop, expensive embellishments. No, just find something that you already have and it's interesting. Like I, for example, have pieces of shell here and piece of tin can. I think that was mushy piece, probably. I put it in the water with vinegar. I think it was vinegar only. I'm not really sure now. But I can put it in a PDF later on what you have to add to water to get these rusty things. So after a few days it turns rusty and I really like it. This is a piece of mica. And Jamie very kindly drilled little holes for me in it so I can hang them on the string. I think he used Dremel. It's a very nice tool. What else I've got here is a tin with other kind of findings. Some necklaces, broken, some bottle caps. I also got some old books, but I will be using this part. I think I'll take this off. This is, oof, I love this. I also have a little bit of material, some lace, string. That's very important. That's the most probably important right afterwards. Without the string there is no flag. So good string. You will also need definitely a strip of fabric, probably like 1 inch wide, depending on the size of your flag. But my flags will be of this size. This is what I'm going to use as a base. This is called number 5. Oh, it's a bit more than 4 by 2 inches, these tags. So like 1 inch piece of strip of material will be enough, because I will show you. This is how we're gonna attach it to the string. This is the string, this is our, let's say, our flag. This is our piece of material. Let me just cut this piece of material. If I have some scissors. I haven't got any scissors, doesn't matter. This is our string, piece of material. We're gonna sew the piece of material here with sewing machine and this will hang like that. Alright, so that's, I think, quite easy. But of course, if you're gonna have like 1 meter by 1 meter big flag, then you need a bit bigger pieces of material, some lace, some other stuff. This will all be useful. So okay, I think we can start now. No, we can't, because I also wanted to show you that I have rice paper and this other thing that I always forget the name of. Okay, I think we'll put it under me. And some rice paper. I don't know if many of you already worked with rice paper, but it's a completely different experience, especially with watercolors. So if you got the possibility, get some and play with it. You'll see what I'm going to do with it. But probably traditionally you would stick it with glue, like you can use probably soft gel for that, for gluing. You would stick it to the board, to watercolor paper, and paint on rice paper. And the watercolor paint just looks completely different on rice paper than on a traditional paper. So yeah, like I said, if you can, just try it. I've got some stapler as well, some other treasures in a tin. So yeah, okay, I'm getting excited. Let's just start it. So for my prayer flag, like I said, I want it to be really small. It's not a big project. I chose this size of tags as a base, but you don't have to choose this size, and you don't even have to choose tags as a base. You can use whatever you want, just pieces of cardboard or pieces of material. It's really your imagination only. And now, to keep it short, the whole explanation, we just want to put things together on these bases. We just want to stick them together or use our stapler so they can, so the base can hold the stuff. So prepare yourself pieces of paper, like I said, or ephemeris, laces, in a size probably not much bigger than the base. We don't want to see the base later, so they can be in a little bit bigger, but not too much. And try to keep about half an inch from top without anything, just like, you know, naked. So later we can sew this piece of material to it. It will be just easier. And just play with it, you know. It's very, I think, relaxing process. This one is, at least. And you can really let yourself be free and use whatever you like. My only advice is that maybe papers and embellishments that you're using to make your flags, let them be in neutral colors like white, black, maybe some cream beige. Then it will be easier, especially those big ones, then it will be easier for you to add small elements that have some color or add some paint. So it will look probably more balanced. Also, this helps you to make it look a bit more organic, more natural, which will turn anyway, because we're gonna leave our flags outside. Yes, however dangerous it sounds with watercolors, but we will, because, you know, like I said at the beginning, that's the whole point of making it, to see the change, the process, the whole movement that the world is in. Okay, so let's get it started. It doesn't really matter if you will repeat same kinds of papers on your flags, little flags. It isn't that important. You can use staples to put these pieces together, or you can use sewing machine or just thread and needle if you like more a natural look. But I think I'm hoping that these staples will rust over the time, you know, like with rain and stuff, weather. They might have some rust, so that will be very nice, because like you already know, I like rust recently especially. Okay, I've got like some lace, some other material here, and it's definitely too white for me, and this is where we use watercolors. I have Ecolines here. I'm still being stubborn and saying that Ecolines are watercolor, liquid watercolors. Some people say that they are inks. I don't know, really, you know, I love them. And if you watched my first video, you know that I'm very enthusiastic about them, and this is another moment when I'm going to use them. I've got number 381 here, and you know what, how I will use it? Very simply. Got this piece of lace, let me just cut it. Let me just grab my paintbrush, maybe this rigger or whatever. I will just dip it. Dip it, take it out. And I will put it aside to dry. it looks like that. It's not dry yet, but I just squeezed it a little bit. I think the color is probably a little bit too much for me, so I'll dip it in water just a little bit, and now it looks much more natural. Yeah, I'll leave it to dry now. Great. Okay, and I'll make same maybe with this piece of thing. Oh, I love that. Water. And maybe while I'm still here, I'll use this piece of paper as my background. I will use Payne's Grey to paint, to give it a bit more color. If I could also open the tin, of course. Payne's Grey is absolutely one of my favorites. So I've got a piece of rice paper here that I want to show you now. Use some kind of a background under it because the paint might go through the paper, which is also very nice. Some people, you know, put the rice paper on top of watercolor paper, not stick it, just put it, paint through it, and the paint on top of the rice paper. Sorry, scrambled eggs in my head. Paint on top of the rice paper and the paint goes through it, watercolor paint, which is wet, so it goes through it, leaves beautiful painting on the watercolor paper. It looks gorgeous. You can try that. So I will use some big soft brush. Some of this paint's gray again, you know, I think I got a little addiction, and just paint on rice paper. I can't, to be honest, explain the kind of experience that rice paper gives, because it's absolutely amazing. But just the way the paint spreads, just the way the paint soaks in, it's so delicate, so subtle, so amazing. I love it. Get yourself a roll of rice paper and try. It doesn't have to be an expensive one, you know. Now just a little bit of some purple, maybe this. I'm just really making some random marks to make a paper for one of my flags. And now the easiest way to tear rice paper is to apply with a little paintbrush or like a rigger I've got here, a little bit of water. And you got this really nice natural almost edge, like a handmade paper. Do you know what I mean? So yes, that's really something nice, something you can try. Colors on rice paper, they will fade a little bit. They're not gonna look like they are now after drying, so you have to be prepared for that. But in general, it's a very nice experience, rice paper. And I've seen some people doing like almost sculptures with it, sticking it to some kind of a base, because it's very soft. It's a very nice tool to work with, and amazing in encaustic as well. So try that if you like encaustic to layer with. Okay, I'm going back to my flags. Now we keep on layering. As you can see, I am starting with bigger pieces and then smaller, a little bit tinier on top. Okay, so I think the biggest layers are ready. Now I can add some little elements to make them even more interesting. As you noticed, for everything really, I'm using staples. I find them just so easy to use, so much easier than sewing with sewing machine or my hand. But if you want this more organic look, then yeah, use thread. Oh, you could use some glue, but you know, then I'm not sure how it's gonna stand the weather. So it's really your choice, but I think there might be beauty in using glue if it's about how it's gonna look after some time. Some papers might fall off, or maybe not. Maybe I would be very surprised. So, well, you know, you can just try. So what I'm gonna put on top are these little pieces that I'm going to put a word on, actually. I also got some other rusty things. This is one of embellishments from Vintage, but of course it wasn't rusty. I put it in my special tube with water and vinegar. I have some others here, some nice how's it called, sorry, archival cast from Prima, I think, these little figures. So I'm gonna try to attach them somehow to my work, maybe with a little string. I'll see how it's gonna work. And now if you would like to add some color, you can do this with watercolors. And I will probably add a little bit. So with a big paintbrush and quite wet paint. Okay, so as you can see, I sticked some of my words, well, all of my words on these little flags. I used a soft gel for that and put a coat on top just to maybe make it a bit more, you know, tough for the weather that is coming. You might think, what's gonna happen after a week with this paper and the wind and rain? you know, we don't know, and that's the whole point of it, to see the change. And I think it might be really interesting and beautiful when the staples will start to rust and the paper will start to fade. I can't wait for that, really. So now the last thing is to put it all together on a piece of string. Get yourself a piece of string as long as you need. If you got some additional embellishments, like I've got here something, little piece of lace or ribbons, you can put it on the string as well between these little flags. But like I said, how we're gonna attach it to the string is very simple, just with a piece of material. The width should be same as the paper, as the base. Just staple it or sew it with sewing machine, or you know, maybe even your hand. And that's done. This is what you want to get. But just be careful to not staple through the string, of course. So carry on with the rest now. I think my prayer flag is ready and finished. I will go now and hang it. But firstly, I want to tell you a few words. The whole reason why we did prayer flag and not on our journal spread or mixed media canvas is that I wanted to show you something different. I wanted to take you outside once again, if it's possible, and show you an alternative way you can use watercolors. And also with this very simple exercise, how easy to use they are. Alternative way to use watercolors was experimenting with them, being brave and actually putting them outside. You know, on our little prayer flags, we don't know what's gonna happen to this watercolor. I've never done such test with weeks and exposed to the sunshine, wind and rain. So I don't know how it's gonna turn, but I think it's something that I could try. Why not? Also, I think it was a good exercise for you to concentrate a little bit on words or maybe just values that are important for you. What is really priority in your life, and what kind of thought you would like to spread to the world, and what you would like people to remember about. Like You already know mine is courage, serenity and freedom. I can't wait to hang it really on between my trees, so let's just do this.